Yeah, it's crazy. What's good? LL Nation. We back. We back. Sorry we couldn't lock in with you guys on yesterday, but yo, we had great reason.
Great.
Great, great reason to not have the show yesterday.
Probably a really good excuse.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It was funny because I'll let you, I will allow you to let LL Nation know what took place yesterday, and then I would tell you the conversation I had with my wife late yesterday. Go right ahead.
So yesterday, before the show, I ended up having my second son. Super excited about it, and you know, I'm thinking because all right, she didn't take too long having him. I would still have a day. No, I didn't have a date. So it took a lot of time. It was really fun. But
For who?
yeah.
Fun for who?
Yeah. I found stuff to be busy with. I was very helpful in the process, but everything I wanted to do, it ended up being consumed in everything else we were doing. So that's all right. We're here.
Yo, yeah. So congratulations. That's big man number two
That's right.
locking in, starting his own wide receiver room over there.
Listen, we need the quarterback good. Now we got the receiver room building. Daddy ball on the way. I'm telling you.
Yeah, dude. So LL Nation adds one on yesterday. Congratulations to you and the entire family. And I'm glad everyone is healthy and doing well. So last night, Malik hits me like right before the show. And he actually, this is the crazy thing. He hits me and, yo, can we move it back like 30 minutes today? Because, I'm doing my Hollywood thing and it's running along.
Yeah, I had that too.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, cool, no problem. So I'm in the process of setting everything up. And then all of a sudden, here comes a text like 10 minutes later, like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm headed
It's
to the
going down.
hospital. Right. So I said, no problem. In my mind, as a veteran father and veteran husband, I pretty much just said, you know what? We're not going today. Let me go ahead and take care of some things. But Lucky here hits me up like, yo, everything went fast. It's great. Like, I should be home in an hour. And I'm like, all right, if you say so. Yeah, okay, an hour. So my wife and I, we laughed all night because Malik kept sending texts talking about in an hour. Well, give me some more time. And
Yeah.
my wife says, you better tell that boy if he leaves that hospital, he's gonna have some problems.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So I learned over time, it was like it's just not gonna happen today.
yo, I appreciate the effort and the thought, bro, but it's like, nah,
Yeah.
it's not happening.
Just relax, man. Just relax.
So we wanted to start with, the big news of the weekend, of course, what happened to Avery Davis. And we put in an effort to get John Oran of the Sports Business Journal on today. If he can jump in before we're done, he said he'll do so. He's doing some podcasting himself. But the big news that broke today, NBC is on the verge of solidifying a deal with the Big Ten that will be the Big Ten's B package. B package. Also, news has broken that NBC is now in negotiations with Notre Dame. The numbers reportedly are $60 million per year for the new media rights to Notre Dame. Now, first of all, I'll just step out there and say that it was a certain podcast where other podcasts were saying we don't know if Notre Dame can get that much. It was a certain podcast that said Notre Dame is going to get between 60 to 75 million.
Easily.
That was before Notre Dame put the 75 out there.
That's right.
That was before they put. You have to know what the market is, right? It's the same thing with the NBA. It's the reason why T-Mac and Shaq are mad at Rudy Gobert, right? They're mad because he's trash. Yes, he is trash.
He's trash.
But the market is the market. And if the market for trash right now is $200 million, then hey.
Rudy Gobert is the reason why Kevin Durant is in his situation.
Yeah.
Because they can't even trade for Kevin Durant now. If Rudy Gobert got that,
yeah,
you can't give up the whole team now.
Yeah.
And Rudy trash.
This is the report. Now, this is where, Notre Dame already threw 75 out there, right? I'm not mad at NBC coming in with 60.
No.
Early on in negotiations. That's how negotiations work.
Because Notre Dame squeezing. NBC just tried to start soft. But they put 75 out there to be like, listen, that's what we're going to.
Right.
That's like where we want to be happy at.
Right.
What you're giving us is opportunity,
right?
But that's not what we taking.
Right.
I don't understand what you mean.
Right. Absolutely. And John Oran did a great job. He said right now Notre Dame gets around $25 million per year from the NBC deal, which runs through 25. Sources say the school should expect around $60 million per year from a new contract, even though the school has released 75, but will continue to look at how the market grows. He also said there had been speculation that Notre Dame could command a rights fee upward of $75 million per year when it renegotiates its new contract. That's because it fills its schedule with games like its long-standing rivalry with Navy that traditionally brings in lower ratings. Obviously, Notre Dame will remain independent. This is the key. He said, Big Ten coming to NBC sounds the alarm to the rest of college football that Notre Dame will remain independent if it agrees to a new rights deal with NBC. But this is the kicker. Part of that deal might be a renewal of the Notre Dame-Michigan rivalry. If the deal is made with NBC and the Big Ten, it would signal a return of the Michigan and or Michigan State flip-flop per year rivalry.
And then we'll also have Ohio State next year. So the schedule's going to have the best of every conference.
Yeah.
SC, O State, Michigan or Michigan State. And then we play in an SEC team in the bowl game usually.
Yeah.
So we play the people that you want to play. And then we mess around, play Clemson there, here and there, because we halfway in the ACC too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you don't want to go play no community colleges for your 3 opening games, you don't want your coaches complaining about you getting some cash, come on to Notre Dame, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So I see a lot of people in the chat. Schedules are scheduled. Look, it's Notre Dame. Anytime any big time program can change the schedule, especially if they have a school like UNLV on there. They just buy them out. Like, look, here.
Yeah, we got TV money. Listen.
Here, we're gonna cut you a check. We're gonna cut you a check not to be on the schedule.
Go do something else.
And we add who we want to the schedule. It happens all the time.
And you know what's even crazier? We independent, so we can add whoever we want.
The big news today is that Notre Dame fans, and just about every Notre Dame podcast has told college football that we don't need you. We don't need your conferences. We're going to stay independent. And here we are. Here we are. Now, when you lock in the media deal, this is so smooth. The media deal almost protects Notre Dame.
Yep.
as expansion goes forth, that there's no way they can really be left out. It would literally have to be.
It would be a
they
crime.
would have a legal precedent.
It would be a crime to leave us out.
Yes, because they're connected to the Big Ten and that media deal. It would absolutely be something ridiculous for the super conferences or two super conferences trying to form their own playoff to say Notre Dame, you can't be in it. Like what?
They lucky Johnny Cochran in the law because Jack Swarbrick, Johnny Cochran, that team, that legal team fighting that.
Yeah.
They don't want no smoke. NCAA, you don't want no NCAA smoke because you think about it, they messed up signing the Big Ten. We already had the leverage being on a little channel, on the baby number channels. That was a leverage
channel.
We had the leverage right there, and then the little channel wanted to go add the Big Ten.
Yeah,
who's over there sucking up all the good teams? Oh yeah, because what are you going to say? Our TV deal is going to be half, if not 3/4 of what you give in the Big Ten. So when it comes down to it, on top of the fact that we're really good and we're going to be winning these games, can't not put us on TV because we already got College Game Day week 1. I mean, come on, look, we got College Game Day week 1 against the best team, top 2-3 team in the country. Week 1, independent schedule, out of conference, doesn't matter. That's the stuff we can do. Now, that structure and all those ties that we have at Notre Dame, there's no way you keep us out because we run everything. With that TV deal, we now are Thanos.
Yeah.
We can go wherever we want, play with whoever we want. You can't tell us what to do. We can recruit whatever we want and catch us live every Saturday. Prime time slot.
Yeah.
We ain't playing at noon. You get a good nap. You catch a good couple games, you know, and then when it's coming down towards the end of the night, go ahead, cut on that Notre Dame.
And look, I see people being upset with the initial offer from NBC in the chat. And as I said before, I get it. It's very similar to, look, bro, no professional sport, when you see you have a talent, you don't wait until their current contract is up to offer a deal, right? You offer an extension 2 to 3 years out, which gives you the ability to offer a cheaper contract for you, right? And then you just extend it.
AKA Patrick Mahomes.
That's what they're doing right now. They're basically trying to sign Notre Dame to an extension instead of allowing the current contract to expire and Notre Dame hits free agency.
Yeah, then we got to get 75.
Right.
Calling the number.
Another thing they're trying to do is they're trying to catch Notre Dame early before the wave.
Crazy,
yeah. The Marcus Freeman era. It's about to. They haven't even reached the crescendo. Nowhere near.
Yeah,
NBC
we talking 5 years out. Yeah, 5 years out.
Yeah, NBC knows this, and they're saying, "Look, we can make the offer now because if we wait 2 years,
we're gonna be on
and they mess around and win a national championship, then we come to the table. We have to give them 75. We have to give them 80, 85. So it's not disrespectful. I don't view it as lowballing. I view it as good business practice.
Because they want to get us part. We get hot.
Absolutely. And like, I'll give you an example. You see this in baseball in particular with a lot of international players, right? That come from nothing. They make it to the leagues. They become stars in year 2 or 3, right? They're on a 5-year deal, and their team comes to them and offers them a contract, and the majority of them take it because they come from nothing, right? So that money that they're being offered, they're like, you know what? Yeah, I'll take that because I need to take care of my family. I need to bring my family over. Yeah, I could wait 2 years and hit free agency and hit the lotto, but I don't want to leave my family back there for another 2 years.
That's right.
right? Albies with the Braves, Acuna with the Braves, Luis Robert with the White Sox. They've all taken these early deals when they're worth so much more than the deal they have.
Like
But it
Patrick
is what it
Mahomes.
is.
Patrick
Yeah.
Mahomes took a deal so far extended
Yeah.
that his per year is not the same as
No.
what these other guys about to get.
No. You
And then you
know?
can see it done wrong too.
Yeah.
See a guy like Dak Prescott. They in NBC saw Jerry Jones wait a little too long.
Yeah.
And they ended up having a problem on their hands. They had to pay
Yeah.
a lot more than what they wanted to.
Absolutely.
So they said,
Absolutely.
let's do
So
it right.
look here, man. To everyone that doubted what we were saying, when everybody was saying you need to join the Big Ten, you need to join the SEC, we told you. We've been rocking like this for a long time.
Long time.
And we're going to keep rocking like this. You dig? When everybody else folded, that was an independent. We railed a standard rose.
And the special part about us
yeah,
is that money don't rule us.
No.
We got all the money. So
No.
you can't throw no money and be like, hey, join us. We got all of it. So if you can't win us over with money, there's not much.
Yeah.
You ain't much you
got. Lucky Lefty podcast. So one other thing we want to get out of the way before we dig in on Avery Davis. And oh man, we found out this weekend that if you want to hear about Tyler Buckner, go get your quotes from Lorenzo Styles Jr. If you want to know if there's a wide receiver you need to find out about Tyler Buckner, don't go get your boy Braden Lindsey. Go get Lorenzo Styles Jr. We'll get to that shortly. Buzz yesterday and all weekend, and pretty much since he's returned from his visit to Alabama, Keeley, people wondering whether or not he's going to decommit. The rumors have been out there. Nothing is hit, and we'll tell you what we continue to tell you. Relax until it happens, if it happens at all. That's it. If it happens,
that's it.
It happens. You know, I had people hit me up, private messages, like, yo, is this Signal, the young man that they went after and offered yesterday, 3-star defensive end from California, was a kid they were already talking to? And I'm going to keep it a buck. They have a really, 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 and I can add as many reallys as I want to. Samuel Mpemba, it's a really good shot of him coming because of the St. Louis Connect. I'm going to forecast and tell you today, Jeremiah Love will be Notre Dame, in my opinion, in a few days. St. Louis. We talked about the St. Louis connection that's being formed in Notre Dame. I think that's going to be huge in the recruitment of Samuel Mpemba. Another 5-star defensive end at the same position. Let me tell you what's not about to happen with this staff. And I have to walk on eggshells and make sure I say this correctly. We've already seen this staff be willing to do the right thing and take the bullets. I'll leave it at that. We've already seen that this staff is willing to do the right thing and take the bullets for it publicly. This staff under Marcus Freeman is no longer in the business of allowing recruits to pimp the brand of Notre Dame. That's the best way I can say it. And I'm not saying that's what's being done, but from a recruiting standpoint, there has been a standard set to say, yo, if you're rocking with us, you're rocking with us. And while you say you're rocking with us, you need to communicate with us. And when the communication does not line up with the actions, then we have a problem. So like I said, just wait, see how things play out. But the old days of how players would just, oh, man, there were recruits in the past under the previous regime that would literally commit to Notre Dame to get their name out there. Period. To get their name out there and to get programs to come that they really wanted to go to. And when they finally got that offer or that attention, then they bounced. So I'll just leave it at that. Congratulations to Ronan Hannafin, who we said for months has really been torn between Clemson and Notre Dame. Going back and forth, back and forth. He made his decision. He decided to go with the Clemson Tigers. And as soon as he made the decision, Notre Dame had already been talking to Tayshawn Lyons. You did a great breakdown of his film last week. If you missed it, you guys can go to our previous show and check it out. And look, man, this is big time recruiting. But the one thing I wanted to point out, you and I, Malik, have differed on NIL as far as it being a part of recruiting. And I'll say it like this. When you see big time recruits in high school now being connected to handlers, like you're used to college football players and runners for agents and handlers being on campus. That's been the culture for college football for years. But now when you see handlers dealing with high school players, being up front, being influencers, making the connections to other schools and other brands, and actually sitting at the table when they make their decision, it just, for me personally, it sends up a red flag. Like, come on, man. Like, at some point, for me, everything can't be business, dude. It can't be. Because if you make your decision solely on business, where's the fun? Like,
Yeah,
where's
you just stressed out. You're definitely gonna be stressed out. Because business is not fun. Business is business. So when business not being fun turns into every day, you're just constantly worried about the structure, constantly worried about things going right. And there's no emotion involved in business. So if something doesn't go right, nobody cares. You just didn't get it done. And so as much as of a business it is, you do want to be able to pick a place that you have great relationships with. Because if it doesn't go right, the business is never going to skip a beat, unfortunately. And so for you being a human being, you want to be able to have a balance of, yes, very business oriented. However, I can still have a mental break and have great relationships with people that I'm around every day. But if you're just doing straight business all day, it can become stressful and really take you away from being creative. I think you're on mute.
You know what, bro? I'm going to be mature and say that I use the word pimp, and that's a little strong. Just you're not about to just leave us dangling. That's
Yes.
you're not about to play us. That's the thing. Like, make a decision. When you make the decision, stick to it, and your actions need to line up with your words. And anybody in life, my grandfather used to say it. If a man said he's going to be there, he ought to be there. Like, basically, just keep your word. Otherwise, you're not forced. No one is forcing you to say anything.
Yeah, so we
No
ain't
one's
forcing you to
forcing you to say anything. But if you call me and tell me a certain thing, and then things are not lining up, it's like, wait a minute. Yo, you didn't even have to tell me what you told me. You could have just done what you wanted to do.
Yeah, because first of all, I think a lot of times we're consumed with what other people think of your decisions when in
Yeah.
fact nobody really cared.
Yeah.
That's what I be feeling about some of this other stuff. People coming on the internet crying and stuff. It's like nobody care what you
Right.
going through for real. It's just a matter of okay, understanding that and using it as leverage. So for me, it is what it is. But I do think that we got to sometimes keep it GC too.
You have to, but it's just something you just want to throw out there because the fan base was really, kind of troubled and just on pins and needle, waiting for news to drop. And it's like, look, man, Notre Dame has already shown. They've already shown you. Like, look, this is our
we
stand.
ain't, we ain't gonna chase you now.
It's really not about chasing because we've been honest enough to tell the fans, like, look, you can be happy with commitments, but there's nothing more or better. There's nothing more important than retention. Like getting all these early commits is cool, but you
Yeah,
have to
I need to
retain this
sign
class.
that paper. I need you to
And
sign that sheet.
yes, and nothing goes any further. Nothing will impact the quarterback room in Notre Dame more than Tyler Buckner and his performance this
That's
year.
that's
Period.
it. That's it.
Period. On the field, Notre Dame winning games this year is going to impact, right? Kenny Minchie is going to watch
Yeah,
the Notre Dame offense the first 4 weeks before he decides to take a visit. And if they sway him to take a visit, if they get him on campus,
we
they
gonna
can
get.
flip him.
Yeah,
They can flip him. Samuel
we
and Pimba purposely
just
set his
waiting for the
Notre
Ohio
Dame
State
visit,
game.
set his Notre Dame visit for the Clemson game,
Oh yeah, the
right
Clemson.
before he makes his decision. In his mind, he already knows what he wants to see from Notre Dame. And it is what it is. At this point, Notre Dame in the 23 class starts on September 3rd. As far as retention and any addition to come after that, what happens on the field is going to have a far greater impact than phone calls, text messages, or any of that.
That's right.
The
And
world is watching.
retention is important, man, because at the end of the day, that shows how authentic of a recruiter and a coach you are. Because you got to hold up your end that you pushing out there to get the kid to come in the first place. So a lot of people don't talk about retention. They put a lot on the kid, being a flip flopper or the kid waiting to the last minute or the kid not knowing right away or the kid whatever. But nobody putting the onus on them coaches or those recruiting offices on
Yeah.
keeping the kid there. You don't see no podcast talking about the office ain't calling this kid enough. You see what I'm saying? We're going to talk about it because we know that's what we know. One, that spins it different, and two, that's what really kids is paying attention to.
Yeah.
Kids don't tune off once they commit and be like, okay, I'll just take a nap until I have to move in. No, it's a lot of people trying to poach. They're gonna be watching our performance. Nobody wants to go to a team that they can notice is losing is tanking.
Right.
Everybody has peaks and valleys. You want to get in when it's going up. Like I
Right.
did. I got in right when we went to championship. I committed. Boom, we good. I'm in there in the spring, right after the championship game.
Right.
But if they start doing this, I'm not going to Notre Dame. Nobody wants to be a part of a losing team. So with Marcus Freeman winning in recruiting, with him getting the staff together, with him winning on recruitment deals, getting things together on every end of the spectrum, and now we playing Ohio State. I think that's the moment where people are going to say, okay, this is a solid program that's taking the next step. Beating Ohio State is just the icing on the cake for it because all the work's been put in.
Yo, it's all connected, bro. It's all connected. We can go back to the deal we just talked about with NBC and what they offered reportedly. NBC knows the brand has already been elevated. Marcus Freeman has already elevated the brand. So if the on-field performance starts lining up with that
TV money,
What does Fat Joe say? Yesterday's price is not today's price. It's not.
It's gonna get ugly out there if we put that thing together.
And NBC is like, let me slide this 60 million right over to you right now. Let's go ahead and end this right now. Everybody knows it. And it starts September 3rd. It starts September 3rd. And as I said before, man, we can do all that talking. Notre Dame is a 10-win program. It was a 10-win program before Marcus Freeman. It was a 10-win program before these coaches came to South Bend.
Yeah, straight up.
And now we're about to transition to why the coaching is better. So you would think 10-win culture, improved coaching.
Championships.
What does that mean? And so what we're going to do, bro, is we're going to go to none other than our guy, Braden Lindsay. Braden Lindsay met with the media. You're going to love this. He talked about what's different and how he's gotten better. Check this out, LL Nation.
Coach Stuckey's been great. I mean, from a technical standpoint, I feel, much more developed. There's a lot of plays that, seemed a lot more difficult in the past. They just make a lot more sense now, and understanding defenses and how I should run a route and when I should and should not use my speed and things of that sort. Been a tremendous help, and just the whole culture of the room seems very bought into, what he's brought, and it's paid off. I mean, although low in numbers, I can't remember a camp where we felt this dominant at receiver. I know for myself, I've never played this well, and I credit a lot of that to the coaches, and to be selfish myself, just I think this offseason buying in even more than I had in the past, and really just kind of laying it all out for one last year.
Can we go back to the first 5 seconds?
Yeah, Coach Stuckey's been great. I mean, from a technical standpoint, I feel much more developed.
Much more what?
Much more who?
He feels much more what?
He said 2 D's. Dominant
and developed.
What? He just got there. Braden Lindsay has been there for 5
years. 5 years.
And 2-3 months after 3 or 4 coaches, he said he felt dominant. He said, I can't remember if it even ever happened when we felt dominant in camp. That's something that in 2 months they made you feel like that. That's how easy it. So you telling me in 2 months can make up for 5 years? The man been there the longest. So if anybody in that room is talking about what was there before and what's there right now, he would know. And it's crazy because he's being honest. He's like, man, shoot, I'm the best I ever felt. I know so much more. Everything that felt hard is easy now. How is that possible in 2 months? How is that possible in 2? You've been there for 5 years, and you said there's plays that you had no idea what was going on. Didn't make sense. No wonder why you dropping stuff, missing stuff, not ready for stuff. And you said in 2 measly, weaselly, eeny-weeny, teeny-weeny months, you talking about you feeling dominant and developed. We should make a shirt. Marcus,
dominant and developed. We might put that up. That's a shirt. That's a shirt, LL Nation. Dominant and developed. Coming to you soon. I like that.
Coming to you soon. Oh my goodness. I'm talking about that's total. We should play the Braden Lindsay of just that little post game.
Yeah.
And his just whole body language, just like, man, glad we got out of that one.
Yeah.
To now he's like, man, I'm ready to go dominant and develop. Chansi Stuckey done turned me up. I've never felt so right. I'm ready to lay it. A fifth year was the best thing in my whole career.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. That's crazy. All them games we done won.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But as Sticky Fingers from Onyx would say, but wait, it gets worse.
Well, this is the fastest I've ever felt. So I'm always going to feel the most confident in my speed. More than anything, I feel most confident in kind of my release packages more so now than the past. I want press that plays to my advantage, and being able to be technical at the line, and then being able to use my speed. It's a huge advantage to myself. It's not something that I've had in my arsenal as much in the past, whether it be my legs or my arms, whatever the issue is, or whether it be just lack of overall technique. But now, I feel that playing at the line of scrimmage with the DB plays to my advantage, because if I beat him at the line, I feel very few, if any, can run with me.
You want to hear that again, bro?
Wait a minute. I know
you hear it again. Wait a minute. Let's hear that again. One more time.
Well, this is the fastest I've ever felt. So I'm always going to feel the most confident in my speed. More than anything, I feel most confident in kind of my release packages more so now than the past. I want press that plays to my advantage, and being able to be technical at the line, and then being able to use my speed. It's a huge advantage to myself. It's not something that I've had in my arsenal as much in the past, whether it be my legs or my arms, whatever the issue is, or whether it be just lack of overall technique. But now, I feel that playing at the line of scrimmage with the DB plays to my advantage, because if I beat him at the line, I feel very few, if any, can run with me.
Dude, this big time college football. This dude didn't have a release package? This dude ain't never been given a release package?
Wait a minute. You telling me he was recruited to Notre Dame for his speed, and now 5 years later, he talking about, I didn't even know I had them type of stuff. I didn't even know I had speed like that. What do you mean? You telling me we used to watch the games for the last 4-5 seasons when y'all got pressed and we upset, the fan base upset, we can't get off the press, can't get open, can't get no separation, and you telling me 5 years later that you didn't even know how to do it the whole time? The whole time. We thinking that something is wrong with you. When 5 years of doing all of that, we find out you didn't even know how to do it. How is that possible at Notre Dame? The man told you he feel good at the line with a DB. He said, I know what to do. I got techniques. I can, man, if he mess up and I got speed, I'm out of here. Now, from a literal standpoint, I'm pretty sure that Braden Lindsey's speed has always been there. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he was fast coming in.
Yeah.
5 years later, he's still fast. Now, he may be a little faster, a little more in shape, but the man was fast coming in.
Yeah.
Now, if you telling me he's at 5 years later saying, I didn't even know anything about change of speed, I didn't know how fast I really was, I didn't know how to use it, that's a shame. That's an indictment. Not on Brady Lindsey, on the coaching staff. What is that? And it's crazy because Chansi Stuckey has only been there for a couple of months. And most of that time was on the road recruiting.
Yeah.
He might have had a total of
real
weeks.
You're right. You're good point. Good point.
He might have had three weeks for real. If you had to really cut off all the extra stuff and just broke it down, 3 literal weeks of him just being like, Braden, just do this different.
Yes.
Oh, you got to do this. Whoop-de-whoop. 3 weeks of in-person time got Brady Lindsey feeling like he's developing dominant. That's crazy. That's what coaching does at an elite level. I feel good about our receivers.
My man said, I got a release package.
I got a release. Like, didn't have that before. So it makes me ask, what was you getting told before? Like, what were you going in that meeting room every day for if you didn't even have a release package? You didn't know what to do on the line. You didn't know anything. You didn't know the plays. You said the plays that you had for them 5 years, you didn't even understand for real until the 3 weeks of work you put in with Chansi Stuckey. That's crazy.
Bro, let me tell you something. That cat, Braden Lindsay, I'm going to miss him, bro. He has given us at least 3 of our top 5 clips of all time on Lucky Lefty podcast. Like easily, Braden Lindsay has 3 of the top 5 clips of all time. I think number 1 is Marcus Freeman talking about practice. Number 2 is probably Braden Lindsay trying to talk about Tyler Buckner. And then he like goes on a run for like 3 and 4. It's crazy.
I mean, he's like, man, I can't believe I missed out on so much. I've caught up with everything. I mean, he's great spokesperson for the team. You want to get some news? Go talk to Brady Lindsay.
Lucky,
because he exposing everybody. I'm telling you.
Lucky Lefty podcast. It's amazing. So, Braden Lindsay talking about being dominant and developed. And he didn't just say that about himself. He said all of us, like for the first time, feel dominant and developed.
He talking about, I can't remember. It was never a time. That's what it was. Yeah. He talking about, I can't remember. It was never a time. It wasn't a time when y'all was dominant.
No.
Y'all in camp actually winning practices.
Facts. Making plays. Absolutely.
Y'all know you're not. I mean, I've been watching the Notre Dame account. I done seen Tobias Merriweather making some great plays. I done seen Braden Lindsay catch some good stuff. Chris Tyree out there. I done seen some positivity in practice.
Yeah.
Where even them little clips, I can be like, well, I didn't see that last year. I didn't see Kevin Austin doing all of that. Not that he couldn't. But it's a different swag, though. It's a different, something different on the team now. He ain't got the same energy.
So, Lorenzo Styles Jr., he met with the media as well. Now we can get a clear picture of what it's like to catch balls from Tyler Buckner.
Dynamic. He can really run the ball and throw the ball, but he's a smart football player. So I think really just controlling the offense, controlling the game how we want it to be controlled. I think he handles that really well.
A couple different guys have said that, like, sometimes he'll make a throw and you're like, man, how do you make that play? Like, can you give us an example of a play that he's made that's just kind of like blowing your mind?
I mean, there's several. It's just really like when there's a defender sometimes in his face, or sometimes he has to like put his arm at like different types of angles to get the throw off. He has the ability to do that. I mean, I think Tyler's a great leader. He really knows how to control the team. So, but really, we trust both of our quarterbacks. But Tyler's our guy, and I'm excited to ride out with him. I think we're gonna make some big plays together this season. Well, this is the fastest I've ever felt.
I just had to put it on the back.
A man that's gonna catch a lot of balls this year.
That's my drop. That's gonna be one of my favorite drops for the rest of the season. Every time Braden Lindsay has a big catch or scores a touchdown, I swear I'm posting that on Twitter. I swear I'm posting it on Twitter too. I swear
you have to drop. You have to. Like, oh my goodness, this is crazy.
This is the fastest I've ever felt. Like, what? Dude, you've been fast the entire time you've been there.
The entire time. You talking about you didn't even know you was that fast. You didn't even have releases. You didn't have technique. And shout out to Lorenzo Styles, man, for knowing how to talk about your quarterback, man. That's a man that's going to get the ball all the time next year. And you see the difference in the two guys. One guy knows he's getting the football.
Yeah.
Another guy is trying to find a spot to get the football. Now that guy that's trying to find a spot feel good. He like, shoot, just throw it my way. I'm ready. I got trained up. I know what to do.
Yeah.
So this team is expecting a lot of great things to happen. You heard Lorenzo Styles say we're going to connect on some big plays.
That's what he
Tyler
said.
can do. Because
That's
Tyler
what he
can
said.
do what? Tyler can do what? Now, I love how he save face. I love both our guys. Yeah, I love both our guys. But Tyler's our guy. And you're going to see that ball down the field. You're not going to see nickel and diamond. Lorenzo Styles too fast. You got to get a 10-yard head start. Let him run down there.
They finally have a quarterback that can get the ball to them as speedsters. Because Braden Lindsey was open early in the season multiple times.
Oh, yeah.
But, man, I think it was like the second drive of the Fiesta Bowl. Braden Lindsey, with no release package, beat the defensive back.
Yeah, not knowing how fast he is.
Right.
Not knowing how fast he really is, getting behind people.
Got behind the defensive back, the Oklahoma State defensive back, and Jack Cohn literally hit the DB in the back with the ball.
Hit him in the back.
It's like, in all facets, the excitement around this offense is at a different level. It's at a different level than it's been. And it's good to hear. It's good to hear the wide receivers talking about how different the room is and how much they've grown, how confident they are. There was questions about who's faster between Braden Lindsey and Lorenzo. I don't care. Both of them are fast, dude. So if you have both of them on the field with Michael Mayer in the middle, there are problems. You have problems. You got problems. That's all you need to know. You have problems, right? So you love what you're hearing from those guys. The sad news was the loss of and this is crazy, right? We lose Avery Davis, who has been the ultimate team player, coming in as a quarterback, then moving to the defense side of the ball, coming back to wide receiver, never complaining. Left knee injury last year, right knee injury in fall camp last Friday. You feel for the young man. Marcus Freeman said he went to his apartment when he spoke to the media to sit with him and talk with him. And it's like, man, what do you tell a kid? Like, everything he's going through. And now for this to happen, they won't discuss his future with him, but he's still part of the team. He'll be there. He was and is the leader in the wide receiver room. So to lose that leader and restrict him to being strictly on the sidelines, there will be an impact. But here is the ray of sunshine in all of this, if there could be one. They went the entire spring without him, bro.
Oh, yeah.
They went the entire spring without him. Entire spring without him. That means Lorenzo Styles worked at all three positions, right? That means Jaden Thomas worked in the slot, as well as X and Y. They're not ill prepared for what took place.
Yeah, like sad, but a good thing is that now it's less people we got to get the football. That was regardless of what people may say, how good they believe Tommy is, having that many options is hard, man.
Yeah.
And with Jadarian and Avery being gone,
I'm
not saying it's better, but I'm saying it makes it a little easier to focus on, your players that's going to make the plays this season in the moments you need it, because you can't have everybody be the moment maker. You got to have your guy that's going to make your moments, and then, the supporting cast. So it's sad to hear with a guy like that, but damn, what you going to do, man? The best thing is to get your medical. And, about staying on Notre Dame, I don't know. We recruit so damn fast, and it's just it ain't much you can do.
Do you remember this? I remember catching a lot of flack. We did a show after his injury. I believe it was versus Georgia Tech or Navy? I can't remember. Was it Georgia Tech? The last home game?
Yeah.
It was one of those games. I forget. It might have been the Georgia Tech game or the Navy game. I'm sure LL Nation will let us know. When he had the left ACL injury, we came on the next week, and we were hearing that he was going to return. And I was like, I don't know if I like that. And a lot of people are like, man, what do you mean? Like, why wouldn't you want him back? Because I estimated the emergence of Jaden Thomas. We talked about it. I was like, yo, if he comes back, I just don't want him taking snaps away from Jaden Thomas. That's what I said. Because I knew, based upon what we were hearing in bowl preparation, Jaden Thomas was putting on a show in bowl preparation practices. So I'm like, yo, if he's going to take away from his emergence, I would much rather.
We don't want to stop that.
Yeah.
We don't want to.
His leadership, it's not that I didn't want him back on the team.
Yeah, it's just
I just didn't want
younger guys.
Right. So when we went to the first practice, the first three receivers were Jaden Thomas, Lorenzo Styles, and Avery Davis, with Braden Lindsey being that swing guy. For me, I was like, that's perfect. Because, man, we knew Jaden Thomas was coming, and we just didn't want anybody to stunt that. So now we have the two guys out there, the two young guys, and you got the veteran in the slot. It was the best, man. Best of both worlds. He comes back healthy from the injury. He's good to go earlier than expected. And then, unfortunately, like the rest of college football around the nation, like that second week of fall camp has caught, man, everyone has been injured. Ohio State, just this morning it was reported, Ohio State lost their freshman running back that was supposed to be explosive. He's gone for the year. Like attrition going into the second week of fall camp is hitting everybody. I think Texas just lost 2 players yesterday. Clemson lost Xavier Thomas for like the first 4 to 6 weeks or something like that yesterday. And 2 of their receivers are out, but they're supposed to be back for the starter or either like weeks 1 or 2. Like this is this is football, man. This is football. It's tough. You're going to lose some guys. And
you always going to lose some dudes. But we so stacked. We got Tobias Merriweather coming in the fold. We got Jaden Thomas with experience from the spring, ready to rock and roll on top of our 2 superstars, Lorenzo and Michael Mayer, that's going to be getting a lot of action. So, shoot, it sucks that Avery can't be a part of it. But damn, how is he going to be a part of it with being healthy? You know what I'm saying? Like, and that rock was going to get real thin in that receiver room.
Thanks.
But now, you know, it gives the chance for Jaden Thomas to really become that 3rd, 4th guy.
Yeah.
I mean, because after next year, he going to have to be 1 or 2.
Has to be. Has to be. Has to be. Like next year, coming into next year, and I know we're jumping ahead, but like teams should be absolutely terrified. At Styles and Thomas. Like you hear Styles and Thomas, you're like, oh man, we don't want to face those dudes.
Because then it's gonna be him, Thomas, and then you're gonna have Greathouse, Merriweather, Braylon Jane. Oh, it's gonna be hot.
It's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna get hot. So we have a lot to look forward to, but it might be more important for Jaden Thomas to do better than Styles this year.
Yeah.
Because Styles gonna get his numbers.
Yeah.
But Jaden gotta be like his Robin this year. Gotta be right there.
Yeah.
He gotta be right there. He can't be a drop-off 3. He gotta be a 2B almost.
Yeah.
Because in that year after, you better be ready.
And Chansi Stuckey got an opportunity to share with the media, you know, how big the loss of Avery Davis was.
Like a gut punch. I know, it's kind of thrown around, but that's really what it felt like, because it was one of the plays we designed for him, and everyone was excited to see him do it. And as he went in, he planned it, and we saw it, and there was just kind of a big gasp. And, we were hoping for the best, but, obviously, his ACL again. So, now we have to be behind him, pushing him, whatever decision he makes and in his life going forward, because he is still part of this brotherhood.
Dynamic. He can really run the ball and throw the ball, but he's a smart football player.
Actually, like a gut punch.
Yo, I had to get my drops in. I love producing. I'm such the producer, bro. I'm such a producer. I love drops. But no.
Gut punches don't knock you out, though. That's the thing.
I don't know. So that gut punch can take the air for a little bit.
Right. It ain't for the whole match, though.
No, it's not the headshot.
It ain't no headshot. It hurt.
But it hurts.
It ain't over.
You might go down to your knee.
Yeah, but you gonna get up.
Yeah. So, look, man, it was a gut punch. I think it was a gut punch when the news broke early Saturday morning. I think every Notre Dame fan was just like, oh, man.
Yeah, just please get to the first game healthy. Please.
Just like, right. Like, dude.
Just be healthy enough to get that first game.
Like, dude, we already lost Jadarian Price.
Yeah, we don't need
now Avery Davis. Now it's like, dude.
We can't buy our way to the first game. Good grief. Just tape everybody together. Just tape everybody to make sure we don't move.
It's bananas, man. It's absolutely bananas what has been happening in the injury bug. It's just not Notre Dame, people.
Oh, yeah, it's everybody.
It's across college football. Like this last week, last few days.
And a lot of it too, we want to see these guys play. I wanted to see Jadarian go crazy I want to see these guys play, and I know they want to be out there. And so it's just that injury, man, is unfortunate. That medical department need to do something different, man.
And what can you do, though, bro? I mean, you have to get ready.
Man, I tell you what, man, sometimes, like for Avery Davis, for example, a lot of time when guys are rushing to get back, not that he was rushing, but taking time to get back, you overcompensate in other areas of your body. So when you come back healthy, you got a stressed opposite side of your injury that's weak and that's vulnerable at any moment, because you've been overworking it to get the other one healthy. So it's such a delicate and interesting process. It's happened to a lot of guys. For me, it happened to me. I ended up getting a lot of tendonitis in my knee opposite my ankle just because I was just every day, you really got to believe them when they tell you don't rush back because it's like a false positive. You really feel good, but then the slightest thing can set you back even further or give you a worse injury in another place. So, ACL injuries like that, you just got to take as much time as possible, man. Don't rush them things.
And when you hear that, you just feel for the kid because the amount of work and pain you go through, especially initially, bro. Those initial steps to get back, man.
It's a big mental hurdle too, man. Just think about it. It's his 5th year. He was tossing the idea of coming back, not coming back. You recovering the whole time. You seeing all the action happen. Everybody's excited about Marcus Freeman. Everybody love the coaching staff. Everybody love what's going on. Finally get ready to rock and roll and you go down. Before you even, you ain't probably even get no good camp reps in that much yet. So miss a whole year when we about to take over the world, it's got to be tough.
Lucky Lefty podcast. Guys, look. It's cool. Like the Keon Keeley stuff, the Avery Davis stuff. Like it's cool to feel down for a moment. But you got to keep your eyes on the prize. This is a darn good football team. It's a darn good football team. We got our quarterback. We told you, Malik told you, Marcus Freeman is going to name the quarterback early. He told you that last week.
That's right. He listens to the LL podcast. He has to.
Well, he definitely drinks Onora. So more than likely, he probably does listen to the podcast.
One thing leads to another. You get to drinking that Onora, I tell you.
Man, so we owe our fans a show, right? So we talked about the media deal. We talked about the wide receiver room, the impact of Chansi Stuckey. We heard from Braden Lindsay. We heard from Lorenzo Styles Jr. And we talked about the injury to Avery Davis and gave recruiting updates on Jeremiah Love and Keon Keeley today. Do you think we should give LL Nation an evening show?
I think we should, man. A lot of stuff happens after the morning.
Yeah, Isaiah Foskey is talking a lot of ish, bro.
That's right.
He's talking a lot of ish. Al Washington is talking a lot of. I like what I'm hearing from that defensive line.
See, that's what I want to hear. Dominant developed that D line. Interior.
Yeah.
We know we got a guy out on the outside that can get some numbers and stuff, but I want to hear that interior talking crazy.
So, LL, we're gonna give you double dose today. We're gonna give you a show later, and we're gonna get into the battle that's raging between the offensive line and defensive line. What Al Washington has to say about it. And we might dig a little bit more into this quarterback thing because we didn't even touch on Tyler Buckner being named QB1 and why he's being named QB1. We might give you a few clips to show you what the offense might look like when they walk into Columbus a little bit later.
That's right.
We've been brought to you by Onora Whisky, OnoraWhisky.com. It's that premium American whiskey, OnoraWhisky.com. So stay locked in. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you know when we set the time for tonight. And most of all, share, let everybody know. Lucky Lefty Podcast. It's the best podcast out there. Smash that like button. Smash it. And let us know what you think. We respond to all comments after the show. And we appreciate you. We had another milestone this weekend as we went over 2,500. That's right, 2,500 subscribers in just over a year. We appreciate you guys. You know what time it is.
Petticoat, petticoat, petticoat junction.
It's time to get petty.
Oh, we did a good job executing.
Are you upset with something?
And fire up the Petticoat Junction train.
I just don't like you.
You don't?
No.
What is today's petty historic Petty Junction?
That's right, Petty Junction. Pettiest stories of the day brought to you by Onora Whisky. OnoraWhisky.com, that premium American whiskey, OnoraWhisky.com. Look, man, I have to throw the entire Tatis family on the Petty train. First of all, Fernando Tatis Jr. Look, man, you start the season injured because you're out there wilding out on motorcycles. Like, you're the face of the franchise, bro. Just got a big contract. Like, calm down, man. And then when you're asked in the media about the accident, your response is which one? Oh, this is your second accident? So you didn't learn from the first one? Then come to find out, you get knocked in the minors for testing positive for a banned substance, according to the CBA.
In the minors.
In the minors as you're rehabbing. And then had the nerve to blame it on the fact that you took something for another thing that was going on with you, an allergy or something, and you didn't know that it was, part of it. Dude, just apologize and move on. But then his father comes onto Twitter and says the loss of his son is a damage to the brand, his brand, and the brand of Major League Baseball. Dude, are you kidding me? Your son could never play a game ever again, and Major League Baseball will move on. That's life. That's sports. Like, I see why your son is delusional.
Yeah.
If you feel that way, then I see why your son is delusional and why he needs to grow up. I see it.
That's petty.
Oh, man. Absolutely ridiculous. Now, I don't even know.
Got to talk about Paul Feinbaum.
Go ahead, bro. Get at him.
I don't understand the issue. Notre Dame is where we are, and it's not changing. You having all these comments on Notre Dame and comparing it to the SEC and what we can and can't do. With us losing, it's still more news than 90% of what's happening in the SEC. With us losing big games, we can lose all the big games and still have more weight than 90% of the SEC, no matter what happens. Only teams that are worth even watching the SEC are the teams that win it all every year. That's the Bama Invitational, with a little bit of Georgia mixed in there. And then your outersiders looking in, LSU and Florida all the time. Other than those teams, you don't care about the SEC for real. Like, come on, you don't really care about the SEC for real. You wait for them teams to play. So, Paul Feinbaum, his obsession with us, we're going to be good, win or loss. That's how we set it up.
Yeah.
We can win or lose and still win. So, I love the free press. I love that you want to get under our skin so bad, but listen, it's going to come a day real soon where Notre Dame's going to be wrecking some of them SEC teams in the real near future on recruiting and on the field.
From your mouth to God's ears, bro.
That's right.
Next, Tony La Russa, manager of the White Sox. White Sox playing the Houston Astros last night. Johnny Cueto was fantastic. Probably should have given up 1 run all night. He goes 8 innings. White Sox down 2-0. They come back to tie the game up. And then they have men on second and third with an opportunity to take the lead with Yohan Moncada coming up. Eloy Jimenez is on second base. And Tony La Russa sleep at the wheel as he always is. Just clueless. And this is what happens. No lie. This is what took place last night.
Hey, Tony, run angle. Get angle in there. Get angle.
What the fuck is happening? Time out. Oh, he's gonna pinch run. He's getting into it. And he called it. And he's doing it.
The fan told him what to do, and he did it, fam. Wait a minute. This is how bad it is for my squad, bro. This is how bad it is for my squad, bro. I have a manager that in that situation did not have the wherewithal to pinch run for a guy that's coming back from hamstring injuries.
Oh my God.
In the 8th inning of a tie game. And a fan gets his attention.
Talk about, hey, do this.
Tells him what to do, and then he calls time out and does it, bro. Are you kidding me? He wasn't even smart enough to play it off. He literally looks at the fan.
And he goes and does it like reaction, like, okay, yes, I hear you, love.
Like, oh man, you're right. I should do that.
Yeah. Hey, let's go make this. But you know what's a crazy thing is that was really the right play. It just so happened the fan called it before him, so it's like he had to do it anyway.
But he wasn't going to do it. That's the point. He wasn't going to do it. That's why he had to jump out there and scream at the umpire because they were getting ready to continue playing. It's the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen, man.
That's like somebody calling Marcus Freeman, hey, Marcus.
Yes, from the stands.
Run quarters.
Right.
Run cover 2. He looked back. You see what he look back. Oh,
okay.
Hey, cover 2.
Time out. Go
to TV, break it all. Come back and cover 2. Oh, shit.
Oh, man.
That's your team.
That's my squad, bro. That is my squad. That's
great. Hey, they gotta cut that man a little check now.
Oh man. Oh man. Lucky Lefty podcast, man. We appreciate you guys for joining us. We appreciate you guys for being the reason we sit at 2,500 subscribers, over 2,500 now, just a year in. Thank you for making us the fastest growing podcast that talks Notre Dame, college football, music, and culture. We appreciate you guys so much, man. We'll be back with you this evening to dig in on Tyler Buckner being QB1, the defensive line, Isaiah Foskey talking that, and much more this evening on another episode of the Lucky Lefty podcast. We appreciate you. Have a great day. But most of all, make sure that you spend it different.